And welcome back to the CuzNCiseal Show. I am your host, Mike Fowler, aka CuzNCiseal. How are you doing this week? Did you have a good week? Hope you had a great one. I hope work wasn't too bad and all that fun jazz. But this week is pretty special. I also have a guest with me, so we're going to do a regular show. But I have the elusive PurpleMonkey from PurpleMonkey Entertainment, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And obviously, it's pleased to welcome obviously JB onto the show. Thank you for coming on, man.
Of course, homie, I got you. No problem at all.
Obviously, let's tell the people a little bit more about you, what you do, and all that stuff.
Oh, I bet. My name is JB. PurpleMonkey Entertainment. I make music. Funny guy in general. If you actually know me like that, you know what I'm saying? Positive vibes, all that good stuff. I make heat, fire.
I can agree with that. That's a teaser for the end of the show. But yes, I can agree. He makes heat, and then also he is also he kind of modest on it. He didn't. If you go on his YouTube, he does do beats, but he has like that game flavor to it. Like of course, obviously, more what's your background in video games?
JB? Okay. Well, I'll say my first console was funny enough. I'm only 21, but my first console was the SNES, so that's where it kind of started. And it went from SNES, then GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and just kind of grew from there. So yeah, I'm not going to say I have the most diverse background, nothing like that, but I know a thing or two,
Oh, and of course it goes into, like I said, the beats. Like you see that you do have a definitely more heavier Nintendo background than other consoles, but that's of course, I think that's also, you were definitely, 21. Oof, you were definitely at least you grew up in probably the best generations, and you got to enjoy them and also backtrack. Like you went to an SNES. That was my first console,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be 32. So it ain't that big of a jump.
Yeah.
But no, I'm more happy to get you on because also I like I said, you're into gaming. I know that, and I think to just have you come on and also like I'm teasing at the end of the show and all that fun jazz. But yeah, how about we'll just get into it, and then JB, did you get to play any games this week?
Yes, actually. This week I just beat Skyward Sword. Right. And this was my first time actually playing Skyward Sword because I didn't get to get it on the Wii. So this is my very first experience with it, and I did do motion controls, But I enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed it with motion controls. Not gonna lie, I played a little bit with the button controls, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with this.
So you played the remaster one, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, the remaster. Switch? Yeah.
Okay, and then out of curiosity, because I never played it either. And
then, for real?
No. And I know that it's technically the first one in the whole timeline and stuff, but I remember people bashing it back when it came out. Do you think the Switch gives it a more of a gracer coming back, even with the motion controls?
I would say yes, because it has the option where you don't have to do motion controls. Because when it did come out, that's what everyone was bashing it for. They were like, "Oh, the controls are bad," and this and that. Most people really enjoyed the story, which I really enjoyed as well. So I think now that it's on the Switch and you have the button controls, it's easier for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna play this and not have to deal with the motion controls.
What? Okay, and then also because you do a pretty good point. If everybody gave it heat back with motion, because I do remember it made you buy, I think it was one of those ones that you had to buy the enhanced Wiimote.
Yeah.
So I was just more curious with the options at hand, what made you go to the motion control compared to just doing the buttons that were people like, oh yeah, we got buttons now?
Honestly, I really two reasons. One, because I wanted to play it the way that it was. I don't want to say I want to play it the way it was intended, but that's how it came out. And the second reason being is because I'm just a sucker for that type of stuff. I really love the gimmicks of things and stuff like that. Even with the Switch with the Joy-Con, usually I never have it I usually have them separate. It's something small, but I just love the gimmick type stuff. for like different consoles and stuff like that. So I was like, I gotta do it. And this is the first time that, now I think about it, that I actually was able to use the motion controls for the Switch and it not feel annoying to me, at least. So,
well, no, that's good. And then also, guess more. You obviously kind of tiptoed it, but would you say this is probably would you say it's probably your top 3 Zeldas? I don't want to say top. I don't think it'll be your top number 1. You think it's probably one of the best ones that out there?
Nah, I wouldn't put it in the top 3. Nah, I wouldn't put it in the top 3. It's good. It's really good, but I don't think I would put it in the top 3.
Can we scale it back and say it's probably one of the best modern Zeldas?
I would say that for sure. For sure, one of the best modern Zeldas.
What's the best Zelda in your opinion?
I would say it's a tie, because I'm not going to sit here and say I played all of them. Like, a big one that I'm missing, which after I beat this, I felt the urge to play another Zelda game, so I may pick this up for the 3DS, but I haven't played Majora's Mask before, which is one of the ones that everyone is like, oh, this is one of the best. But I have played Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, I really do like that one, but I have to really give it a Breath of the Wild. Like, I had the most fun playing that. Plus the fact that it, like, you know, now Breath of the Wild has like more of a sentimental memory to me as well. So, yeah.
No, okay, no, that's to all respectable answers. I just was more. I'm here. I have no dog race in this. I just more here. I like to hear that expression, especially since I don't get that much Nintendo talk on here since I don't have a Switch, and I'm more happy to hear somebody pick up the Skyward Swords and say it's really good. No, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
For me, I was able to play some of the beta for Back 4 Blood.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was on. It was this weekend was like the open beta, blah blah blah, for everybody, and I was more impressed that the beta also had the option. I didn't try it out, but it did say you want to do the cross-platform play for searching for games already on the beta. So, all right, that's cool. You saw about Back 4 Blood?
I've seen about it, and funny enough, I also got an email saying something about, the beta for it. And I was going to try it, but I just ended up getting too caught up with Skyward Sword, and I just never picked it up.
No, right. But for the listeners, it's going to be the next Left 4 Dead style game with four player going against hordes of zombies. Turtle Rock is making it. It's obviously the creators of the original Left 4 Dead. And I'm happy to say it feels good. It feels really close to definitely what would be like if Left 4 Dead came out on the Xbox 360. So it definitely feels like the next gen upgraded features that you're looking for into a Left 4 Dead system that I really enjoyed. And then I do know one thing, because I'm a little have not all the information yet in my head, but like I know that there's something from Left 4 Dead, like you can't do like zombie versus player on like the story mode missions, but they have like this weird like I guess in this game it'll be treated like here's a map, and just see if you can last longer than the other team who's trying to kill you now, and we'll switch sides.
Yeah.
I think it might be missing that down the road. Maybe they'll add it on, but I think but for what I played on the beta, it does feel good, and I'm probably going to pick it up this fall now. It was on my can't decide yet, but I'm going to probably pick it up, and then probably also because I'm going to use my son as a scapegoat, because he's a little kid, and he was like oh, zombies, and he's like, you have to play right now, Dad. I'm like, he's not gonna like it tomorrow when this beta's off.
Yeah, so it gives you a little more motivation to be like, I might as well pick it up.
It's about so I can sneak that, or not sneak, but like persuade the money from his mom. I'm like, I need to buy it. It's $70, but he wants
it so bad. Yeah, he wants it so bad.
One thing also about Back 4 Blood, which I didn't know it was going to have, is it has a one of those not open world, but like a camp that where you go talk to your guy. Oh, you want to do the story mission? Go talk to here, or go over here if you want to do the verses. And I don't think it's needed, honestly. I mean, especially since but of course I didn't get to jump in with friends off the bat.
Yeah.
But if that's how you invite your friends in, I'm like, you can probably just do this all on a regular old matchmaking screen. You don't have to go to the whole campsite. But no, it does look good. I'd recommend it if you have especially if you have the next gen systems, Xbox and PlayStation. But yeah.
Okay. See, and I was thinking about it too. So this is kind of giving me that little bit of push to be like, I might have to pick it up.
It does feel good, and then I'm on the PS5, so it does have DualSense trigger features, like the machine gun feels different than the M16 and all that stuff. So it did feel pretty good, and their lock-on system is pretty spot on. It felt real good. It just felt a really good shooter for him coming back into terms since it came from the last thing Turok did was Evolve, which is still a 4-player versus something. But this idea of going back to basics, we're going to do zombies. It felt real good. I think you'll like it too if you play Left 4 Dead.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, and then that was basically it for me for gaming. And then how about we get into the news?
Alrighty, let's do it.
All right, and then I guess first up, more of I guess it's a softening the crowd, but Xbox Gamescom has set out their plans this week. August 24th is when they're going to do their stream, but they also kind of stated we are doing trailers for already announced games. There won't be no big reveals there, but just obviously just trailers for all they call big exclusives, and then but yeah, what's brought it up is obviously showing no reveals. What do you think about that?
I'm not really the biggest Xbox person. I'm really trying to get into it, to be honest.
You don't have to. You can stick to PlayStation.
But yeah, it kind of does suck a little bit to think about, there's going to be no reveals, but it's more of a thing. I feel like it's going to make the people that are excited for the games that are coming up happier because they're going to get more footage of these games,
Right. No, it goes into, you kind of nailed it on the head. I do think it's kind of odd, but maybe it's because I'm thinking of past Gamescom. I always thought Gamescom was like E3's, brother. So that there would be at least some kind of reveal. So it is kind of interesting that they're going to say, oh, no, we're not doing no reveals. I'm not saying there might be a reveal that from the actual studio, but the Xbox go we're not doing that this year. I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and it kind of does. It makes it feel it's kind of good and bad. It's good because they're already saying hey, don't expect this.
Yeah.
So then people aren't going to go in with really high expectations, being like, oh, we're going to see this new game. We're going to see this new game. We haven't seen footage from this new game. It's more of this is the stuff. This is our stuff that we have right now. We're going to give you more footage of that. So.
Yeah. No, and then I'm more intrigued to see just the opening night special with Jeff Keighley. But do you what's your favorite announcement show? Do you like E3 the best? Before the pandemic ruined it.
Yeah.
And then technically, if you look in the finer print, E3 themselves have ruined themselves. But what has been your favorite growing up of going just the probably E3? I'm assuming.
For sure, E3 for sure. That's always been E3 has always been the one where I was yes, this is the one I remember for sure. And then all the other stuff kind of comes in behind it. I'm like, oh yeah, that is happening, this weekend, or that is happening this day. So
I do miss growing up. I had we had G4, which was definitely a consolidated version of E3, but they also still did highlights for Tokyo Game Show or of Gamescom itself. But yeah, I think I do. Do you miss? Well, did you ever have do you miss that whole hype week of there's people on the internet always say oh, E3 happened. I used to have friends come over. We go watch the convention, or not the conventions, the presentations all together on the couch and stuff. I do miss that too.
Yeah, 100%. I miss that. For me, the example for that would probably be because I have brothers and stuff like that. So usually during the week, I'm usually the one that knows about it beforehand. So I tell them like, "Hey, E3 is this week. This show is this day. This show is this day. This show is this day." And they're like, "All right, cool." I have it up on my TV. My older brother walks in. He's like, "Oh, the PlayStation went on," so he comes in and sits down and watches it with me. And my little brother would be like, "Oh, we watching it," so he'll come in and sit down and watch it with us. So it's always that like just that family time for us three. So for sure, like E3 has always been like a really big thing for me. And even if it wasn't like, oh, my brothers aren't in here, like for the Nintendo one, because I'm more of the Nintendo guy compared to them two.
Right.
Like, I mean, I would just be excited by myself. I'd be sitting there screaming and yelling and getting hyped by myself. So
yeah. No, I do miss it. I do wish there was a way to coming through, but also, that change of times. It does. I feel both ways. But like Gamescom, just so people know if I forgot, August 24th is Xbox. I want to say maybe August 22nd or 21st is the opening night stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's getting close. But what was your thought on the Steam Deck when it first came, or the reveal this a couple weeks ago?
I seen it, and I'm gonna be honest, I wanted it. Like off rip, I wanted it. And the more and more I looked into it, I still want it. Like, I don't really go into my Steam library like that.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't really have much in there because I've never been like a PC gamer or like that. But I feel like the Steam Deck is now an excuse for me to actually build a Steam library.
No, for real. I agree too. And I was more wondering because you said, you being more of a Switch guy. Like this week they had they redefine or defined some things that were said. And this week, like in particular, like when they first revealed it, people were making it sound like, yeah, you can control the frame rate, and then you understand if you have a higher frame rate, you're gonna have lower graphical fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were trying to ask about with the dock mode, which is like just put on a screen and stuff.
Yeah.
Turns out, even in dock mode, their real target is just 30 frames per second. And then there is no dock upgraded graphics that come out, which that was just the only little things. And like, I'm not 100% sure yet because I haven't really double checked. I don't know if that 60 frames lower fidelity thing is only on select games, but I'm thinking it sounds like only select games will have that option of, oh, you want 60 frames in handheld? Only probably Valve games and maybe like Control, who's been highlighted, is probably going to be definitely the ones. Does that wilter your expectations, or are you still looking for it, like looking forward to that system, or even seeing how it goes?
I am 100% still looking forward to it because most people don't know that. Well, I've said it a couple times, but I'm never the person to sit here and, like hang on to these, like to the very technical details about things, because at the end of the day for me, I just want to play video games. Like, it doesn't matter how many frames per second it is. It doesn't matter if it's HD, 4K, whatever. As long as the game is playable. Now, I'll admit it is a couple of, exclusions to this because I'm the guy that went from playing Apex on my PlayStation and I tried to play it on my Switch, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So I went straight back to my PlayStation.
Okay. I thought you were stick to the Switch Apex.
No.
Or you are technically. I think you're going to be apologetic for those Hyrule Warrior shots that are like 8 frames per second.
Yeah, no. So I have a limit, but if it's nothing that I could really like notice, and it's nothing that no one can point out to me, I'm not going to care. I'm really
not. And then what is it? But yeah, just more little hiccups with obviously the game. Their system's not even out yet, so just more saying it out there. But
is there a release date for it yet, or
it's like one of those weird release windows. So like there's a first set of them might come out in the holiday, but you could have pre-ordered it on the same day as this guy, but you might be behind at the end of the line, so yours might come out early 2022.
Okay.
So it's that weird window. I think they're also dealing with all the pandemic fucking just how the shipments and how building stuff is now in those other countries. So we'll see. More for a quick movie news is Idris Elba has been revealed that he's going to be the great Knuckles in Sonic 2.
I am so excited for this. I am a extremely big Sonic fan. I love the first Sonic movie. Like, I want to go back and watch it again. So I already knew that there were a couple of Knuckles in it, and I didn't even think about who they were actually going to get to voice Knuckles. So once I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I seen Knuckles' fist, and underneath, Idris Elba is going to be playing Knuckles. I was like, yes, yes, yes. I am so excited for this.
I'm interested in I am interested in this generation. You're in that generation.
Mm-hmm.
What is it with Sonic that's like comes from? Because it can't be from the games. There's no way it's just from games.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the fandom of Sonic come from for like your generation?
I feel I'm gonna make you mad when I say this, but funny enough, it is from the games.
Really?
It's specifically from the game. Like, the first Sonic game off the top of my head that I could think of me playing was Sonic Heroes. So I played Sonic Heroes on the GameCube. I think it was either GameCube or PlayStation. I feel like it was GameCube though. Played it on GameCube and just kind of fell in love with that. So then I started playing. I ended up finding out about the older ones. So I was playing Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Knuckles. And then ended up when Sonic 06 came out. No, skipping ahead, I think. Sonic and the Black Knight, when they had the storybook one, Sonic and the Black Knight, which is it is a bad. I mean, I'm down to accept that some of these games are not good. I'm accepting that. But Sonic and the Black Knight is one of my favorite Sonic games. Sonic 06 is terrible, yes, but I love it more for the memories and just I just have fun with it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't go to Sonic and be like, yes, this is quality gameplay. Like, no.
I do like putting Sonic fans on the spotlight for this because I like to. It's like watching an unaired video of like those people of like those weird habits, like the people that sit at home, eat their couch cushion.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like, this is like my bad habit that I have. My guilty pleasure.
Yeah, guilty pleasures. That's what it is. And I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't mind Sonic. I'm not going to say like, but also I grew up with I had fun Sonic 1 or at least Sonic 2, some 3, and then doing the Sonic Knuckles, put the thing on top and playing. I grew up through the whole thing, but like there's this weird switch up because I had the TV show. And it was good, but also just the idea of there's some weird connection that Sonic hit that generation after me in a full force, and it can't be just from the GameCube games.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I know what it is, and I feel like it's just the meme culture around Sonic. Okay. I feel like because this generation is like really the generation of memes, and everyone just loves memes and stuff. And Sonic is just one of the most meme-worthy games of all time. It being not the best type of games. In all honesty, they could release terrible games and people are still going to buy it, play it, complain about it, and then make jokes about it regardless.
We won't go down this road on this show. I am going to blame a little bit of that Chris Chan fella because he did the Sonic shoe. He's part of something. He's part of that.
He's in that equation somewhere.
And then, and see, you got caught. You knew who he was. That's where
what's funny? Caught. I didn't know who he was until a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
I had no idea who he was until a couple days ago.
There's a guy I work with who's 19 in the kitchen I work in. I just asked him, and then because I'm learning information too this past news thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, did you watch that documentary on him? He goes, sadly, yes. My friend made us watch. There's a 60-part documentary of that man.
God.
And they're all 40-minute episodes on YouTube.
Oh my God.
But
yeah, no, I'm not that dedicated.
Another show, and it's if there's right-wing people I think Chris Chan's in the right wing version of the Sonic.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But I do agree with the memes because I am really hoping to hear Idris Elba say, "Do you know the way?"
Yeah, I'm really hoping. Like, that's the one thing I really want is just to say, do you know the way? I just want it so bad.
I think hopefully it might have it. Hopefully it wasn't even a meme, because I don't want to pinpoint like that. Because someone goes, "What is Idris's nationality?" And it says he's Ugandan, but also maybe you just mixed it already. I'm like, well, it'd just be perfect. But that's coming down the road. I don't even think it has a release date just yet. I think it's out next year, but
I think it is next year. Yes.
Some bigger news that I didn't know there was a hiccup when it happened, but this week officially Sony owns Crunchyroll, and now because I think it was about, let's say, like in January and stuff, that's when the talking was like, yeah, they're gonna buy Crunchyroll, and that's when the whole news people pushed out. I didn't know the U.S. government of business said, whoa, we got to review it so you're not a monopoly.
Yeah.
Finally came into terms. It's not a monopoly. Sony owns it. They bought it for $1.633 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for anime, for like just the streaming services of it. Like I don't even think maybe I'm wrong. Crunchyroll does have their own personal exclusives, but I don't know where this portails. Like, does that mean does Sony have like IP exclusives if they want to do games? I know like there's a Demon Slayer game coming out, but I haven't heard anything else. I'm assuming you like anime,
of course.
And then what? How would I word it? There's also the bigger thing about this. Besides, okay, that's great for them. They own it.
Yeah.
But the rumor that's coming out now is that there's possibly going to be a new PlayStation Plus price point coming that might include a Funimation Crunchyroll membership in the price tag. I don't know how much it's going to be, because also I feel we're in this weird plateau of pricing of like, you're going to add what? Excuse me. $5 more. So we're at $15. Now we're in that weird Game Pass territory.
Yeah.
And does $5 is that worth saying that's worth the same as games for gamers? Yeah. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on that part about the price? If they have, obviously going to have to go up to a different price.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard because if anything, what I think they should do instead of just raising it completely and being like, oh, everyone has to pay this, is I think that they should probably do like a 2-part thing. Like, for example, off the top of my head, how Hulu you can get Hulu by itself, or you can get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN.
Yeah.
I think that PlayStation should do something like that instead, because kind of forcing everyone to buy this, even though, like, shoot, I know a good amount of people that love PlayStation but don't know a damn thing about anime. So it's like, why would I pay this higher price and get this subscription, but I'm not going to use it? Like, I would hope it's not like a permanent thing where it's like, well, not permanent thing, but I hope it's not like this is the only option type thing.
I think it is going to be like an option. I don't think it's going to be, this is the way, and that's it. But I'm more just trying to figure out, you did a pretty good point. Now, if they did $15, I hate to break to anybody who's I think you have the same point. Now, if we did $15, but they also included PlayStation Now, and that gives you the access to Funimation, blah blah blah. Since Funimation already, like, that's the thing. That's where they're in this weird tipping point of how to get their money back. Yeah. Funimation and Crunchyroll do have free accounts. You just have to not pay for memberships. So, like, there's already, like, it's really hard. It's a weird tightrope, and I really hope they don't fall on their thoughts. I really think they should, if they do anything, I think 1 month of PS Plus is $10. If so, I hope they just go to $12 a month. Or here's your year, which is 60. Yeah. And then they just go, hey, for 70, you can have the whole year of membership. I'll do that.
Exactly. Okay. Like just something small, you know?
Yes. Because I think, like you made a point, not everybody likes anime. There's a lot of people who do, but the idea of when you have, because that goes into that weird media conversation. You'll have then the zealots of Xbox saying, you guys raise your price for anime while I'm getting all these games for that same price, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
So to stay number one and all that stuff, I think they just have a tightrope, and I'm not the only one thinking about it. Hopefully their board members are thinking about it too.
And in all honesty, that PlayStation Now thing you said would be a really good idea if they bumped up the price and at least included something else besides just, oh, you can watch anime. Like for the people that possibly wouldn't want to watch anime, but you know, they would be like, oh, I can pay a little bit more and get PlayStation Now, you know?
Exactly. And technically, JB, you thought of it. I just lengthened it out. And then Nexus came up was this week, which we're gonna do a little switch up compared to my usual. But this one was the Xbox at ID show, and this one we're just more. I'm not even probably gonna tell you every game that is on there because I ain't gonna lie. This certain showcase that they did wasn't one of their best ones in the sense of how the showcase rolls. It's kind of here's trailers, and then at random moments they had, I forgot the girl's name, but the other gentleman is the blind gamer that hangs out with Kind of Funny.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't want to say Sean or Sam, but like one of those, like, you know, just, and they just kind of were just commenting. They weren't really talking or breaking down the show. But some of the bigger news that came out of it is let me do a quick double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 4 of them are going to be for sure coming to Game Pass. And those 4 are Origami 2 is going to be on Game Pass, Evil Genius 2, Game Pass, Paparazzi, Game Pass, but the big one, which I think was put on Game Pass right now, or it has to be very soon, Stardew Valley is going to be on Game Pass, and I think that's I got my collection of news from Emran Khan from his GameBite website. He highlighted right there too. He goes, Stardew Valley is a really great pickup for Game Pass since it's a long-driven, very relaxing game. It'll make you invest, and obviously not like I need to give Xbox money, but the idea of like, well, I'm already playing it, and I'm already like 2 months into the game. I might as well keep going.
Yeah.
I haven't played Stardew yet. Have you played Stardew yet?
I haven't, but all of my friends that do play Stardew are all like, I love Stardew. So
it's about timing. I really like those games. I just don't have time to invest.
I understand that. I can understand that. Because, I mean, I played Animal Crossing, and I put a good amount of time into Animal Crossing, but then, like, for some reason with me in those type of games, like, I'll get to a point where, like, it's the, like, end of it, of, like, the story of it and stuff like that, and then, like, I'll try and do other things, but it'll just kind of be like, okay, I'm bored of it. Then I'll just stop playing. And I know that Stardew, for the most part, I know that they have like different little like activities you can do and different things like that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like if I started to play Stardew, I would like fall off of Stardew too. So
I'm more, because I know that they have a different end game compared to some, because there's like mining / like dungeon crawling inside those mines. So I'm not saying, but I think they also have a little bit more of a mystery relationships compared to like Animal Crossing, where you just know you owe Tom Nook money or he's going to break your legs.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
bury you in the basement.
He's going to get his money one way or another. But the other presentation that happened this week is one that we've always broke down in this show, is the Indie World. That's obviously sponsored a little bit with Nintendo. Did you get to watch it?
I did.
What did you think of it before we break it down?
I'm not the biggest indie person, but really? I will say a lot of the games in here, I am really thinking about picking up. A good amount of them I'm really thinking about picking up.
I bet money, while we talk about it, I'll say this is a JB game, and I bet I'll be right. We'll see. All right. Well, more to say, I liked it, but also Indie World I don't think has ever had a bad show. They might have bad games, but the idea of their presentation is always top notch because it's pre-recorded and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we'll start off with they start off the show with Jet Set Radio called Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. It opened the show with new gameplay and banging music tracks, and it is a timed console exclusive for Switch in 2022, and I believe that is a JB joint.
100% I'm playing that game. 100%. Because I never got to play Jet Set Radio like as a kid, and I've like seen stuff about it, and I'm like, this looks so much fun, and the art style is just so cool to me. So when I saw it, that was the first thing I thought, oh, that looks just like Jet Set Radio. And then like I seen like all the gameplay stuff, I'm like, yes, I have to pick that up. I have to.
It does look good. Last time I played Jet Set Radio was, I believe, the PS Vita version.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a minute, but yeah, it does look good. Like it just said, it looks just like Jet Set, but obviously put a new brand. It looks good.
Yeah.
Next was a pleasant-looking black and white photography game. Toem gets a new gameplay trailer and an explainer, and the game is releasing this fall. And I don't think this is truly a JB game, but I think he probably liked the video.
I did. I liked the video, and honestly, it was, in a weird way, it was kind of giving me like Donut County vibes. Yeah. Kinda. I don't know if I'm by myself on that, but so I might pick it up. I might. That's a real strong might right there.
I like it because it's basically a puzzle game. And it's the one that we've already talked about on the show, but obviously it's the one that has very cutesy, artsy vibes, but it also has like a Pokemon Snap style of you gotta take pictures, like it said. But obviously you can switch angles, which obviously goes into but all that stuff. And it looks good. I don't know exactly. I don't know the price. I'm assuming it's probably going to be like $20, $25. It looks good. I'm more looking forward to it coming to PlayStation. Next was Loop Hero, an incredibly popular looping roguelite semi-management game comes to Switch finally. The game releases on the hybrid console this holiday. So I believe Loop Hero is Devolver, and I think it's one of like you said, I think this one's just a Switch only or release already announced, but it does look good. I didn't really I think what throws me off is when I get very excited on these shows. I'm like, but then they say it's only for Switch. I'm like, I don't want to pay attention. It does look good. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a JB game.
Yeah, not really. Nah, you're on that money with that one. Yeah, not really. Like, I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm excited for whoever is excited, you know?
Yes. And then next was from a new game from the creators of Far Lone Sails is shown, titled Far Changing Tides. It's focused on sailing a large boat at the end of the world and explores a now flooded landscape. So obviously it's the sequel to whatever this first game was. Never played it, and I believe it's not a JB game.
Never played it, so
I believe the next one is a JB game. It's an anime-style first-person narrative adventure. Necro Barista: The Final Pour is revealed. A definite director's cut version of 2020's game. It releases later. It's out now on a time and console exclusive. But I was watching it, and I have a feeling you probably like it. You might not play it, but I think you might like it. And for some reason, one of the characters has the Bit Trip Runner's head on a big, bulky body. And
I didn't notice that.
I noticed it. I was like, that's very interesting. But it's one of those games like that's my style too. And I think it looks fun. I wish I knew more about it, but no. Did you any comment on that one? I think it's up in the air.
I may pick it up, may not. It's up in the air. One of those.
And then next was Garden Story, a cute Zelda-like releases later today, so it's out now. And I think Garden Story is that one that you play as like the little grape. And it looks okay. It's definitely like Animal Crossing meets Zelda.
Yeah, it looks so adorable to me. Like their little grape is the cutest thing to me. I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably not gonna get it. But that little grape is adorable.
Yeah, no. And then the one that's been, I like it. I think it looks really cool. But I know there's been some basically just people stuck up prudes up their ass. But Boyfriend Dungeon was revealed, and a game where you date your weapon, and also comes out. It's out now, and it's also more so that it can say it's also on Game Pass, which is obviously opened the door for more people to have opinions. It's definitely a CuzNCiseal version game. I do wish it was on PlayStation, but I don't think it is as of yet. Just because it besides the whole dating sim part, it does look like a really cool top down like dungeon crawler / like a Hades and all that fun jazz.
I'll say I was thinking about this one for sure. I was watching it and I was like, okay, it's really not like it's okay. It looks fun, but it's nothing that I'll really pick up. But then I heard a lot of my friends talking about it, and one of my homies, Joe, after work, he started streaming it. And I was streaming a little bit of it. I believe he did. Yeah, I believe he was streaming a little bit of it. And I was like, okay. Like, it does kind of look a little fun now that I'm looking at it. You know, it does look a little dope. And another guilty pleasure of mine is I'm not going to say like dating sims.
You like dating swords. You like dating daggers.
Exactly. Yes. I like dating swords, daggers. And apparently there's a light beam in there too.
You're a Sonic fan, so you like inanimate objects. I know.
Exactly.
No comment after that one. Yeah. Obviously, next was another surprise release today, or when it was this week, was Axiom Verge 2 had a trailer, and obviously it's out for Switch and PlayStation. You don't know if I have a feeling. I think it is a JB game, but I don't think you're gonna pick it up yet.
Funny enough, it's not a JB game. I'm not gonna say it is or it's.
You haven't played the first one?
I haven't played the first one. So I remember hearing everyone talk about it, and now that it has the second one, it kind of makes me want to be like, okay, maybe it is worth going back and playing the first one and then second one. But
I haven't played the first one either. I just know that because you like Nintendo is a Metroid game, and the second one definitely has a lot more inspirations, probably from other games, but it's still a Metroid game. But also you can beat it without fighting. It says so. That's interesting.
Okay.
Next was Shovel Knight, new puzzle game called Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. Pocket Dungeon is revealed. The cast of Shovel Knight crawls through a dungeon by solving competitive puzzles, kind of basically playing Tetris, kind of. Not technically Tetris, the one that like match 4, like it pops the whole spot off. It also supports the Shovel Knight amiibo. And it's going to be releasing this holiday on Switch. And I am going to say it is a JB game.
It's in the list, 100%.
It's in the list.
Now, I haven't actually played Shovel Knight, funny enough. I've been wanting to because I know that there's like the bundle that's on the Switch, and I've been wanting to play that, but I just haven't. I haven't had the money to do it, and I haven't had like the determination. When you're like, when you think about the game and it's like, okay, I like this game, but I don't have the time to really put it into the game yet.
Oh, you're talking to the best. I'm definitely a heavy window shopper. I watch them, I look at them, I'm like, oh, that looks great. I wish it was me, but like, you just can't.
Yeah, so I'll get to it eventually.
Next up was Islanders Console Edition, a quaint and peaceful game about building islands that have been on PC for a while. It's coming to Switch later. It's out now. And just more, Islanders is more of this is definitely more of a puzzle game. Like, you get a set of pieces, and then you only have an X amount of size island. And like, you could probably finish your game, or not even like it's a game over because you didn't have the right pieces.
Yeah.
You could also have a piece that maybe a bridge, so you have another connecting thing. So obviously, it's a very more of a thinking game, but also like it's just a puzzle game. It looks,
It doesn't look bad to me. Like it's nothing that I would. I mean, really depends. I would pick it up if it was on sale. I'll say that for sure. If it was on sale, I'll be like, okay, fine. I might as well pick it up. I got a little bit of credit on my Switch. I might as well. But it's nothing that I'm going to go out of my way to get.
It goes in that category. I would not complain if it was like a PS Plus game. Just, if it's free, okay.
Yeah.
And then Metal Slug Tactics is shown again after a reveal from Summer Game Fest. The new trailer shows expanding maps, big bosses, and is a 2022 date. And I say it is a JB game because it is a CuzNCiseal game. You like RTSs?
Not really. No. I saw it and it was more of, I was like, okay. It was another thing where I was like, I know other people are happy and excited about it. So I was like, that's dope.
I respect that. I'm happy that you're happy.
Yeah.
Enhanced Games announces Tetris Effect Connected. Incredibly, obviously, it's just basically like the cross-platform version of Tetris Effect. That's obviously went to the Xbox and is going to be coming to Switch now on October 8th. And also it gets to, it also comes with the Switch with cross-platform multiplayer. So that's pretty good to hear. You like Tetris Effect?
Funny, I haven't actually played Tetris Effect yet. Now it's on the list for sure, but I have the console to play it, but I would rather play it on my Oculus Quest.
Okay,
play it in VR instead.
I had the PSVR, so I got to play it on VR, and it's
so I would rather play it in VR than to play it on my actual console. I feel like I would be more like in it if I did it like that.
And then what is it? What's the word? Next was like the sizzle reel. Just had Astroneer, 100 Days, Winemaking Simulator, Slime Rancher Portable Edition, One Bear Jack, Curious Expedition 2, and Gang Beasts is shown. So, just that. And then they ended the show with, coincidentally, the Stardew Valley publisher. They showed off Eastward, the new 2D art action RPG that is being released time exclusive on September 16th. So they definitely are double dipping into the farm simulator, and it does look good. But more to come in September 16th because obviously it's time exclusive.
Yeah,
and it's
really nothing.
It's probably on JB's list, but he ain't gonna buy it up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it.
And then that was basically it for the show. It was a good show, but obviously for me. It's obviously more shows, obviously the heavy Nintendo side that didn't have that many secret PlayStation trailers to say, it's coming over here too. Just yet.
Yeah. See, I always watch the indie world showcases, and like I said, I don't really play indie games, but I always watch them because I want to get into them. Like, I want that one indie game that's going to really pull me in. So, I'm not going to say it did that, but it was a good amount on here that I was like, I'm going to pick that up.
What games do you like? Besides Sonic?
That's a good question. I feel like
I am just more curious because I'm trying to figure out like what would be a good indie game to get you in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, I am a Nintendo person, so like Kirby, freaking dang, I literally lost it. Okay, I'm gonna say Legend of Zelda, obviously Mario. I'm gonna move away from that. I like Kingdom Hearts. Okay. RPGs. It's an older game. It's not really that old, but Jak and Daxter. I really like Jak and Daxter.
So platformers.
Yeah, platformers basically.
My first thought would be I'm probably gonna say it wrong because I've been doing it all this time. There it is. Neon White.
Repeat it again. I'm sorry.
Neon White.
Okay.
It's not out yet, but it's from the creators of Donut County.
Okay.
And they were just on the best place you can look at it is go back and watch the Annapurna special, like their showcase. And it's going to be on Switch first, but it is a
okay, I know what game I just looked it up. I do know exactly what you're talking about. I seen it and I was really interested in it. I was really interested in it. So
I think that would be up your alley for a indie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're in that good ballpark. I mean, but also you don't like RTS because I wonder. This is not an indie, but like that Bravely Default. Did you play that? Not Bravely Default. The Octopath Traveler. That's the one.
See, I was interested in it. Like when it first came out, I was really interested in it. But again, it was one of those games where I don't think I had the money for it at the moment. And it just like time just kind of passed by and I just never ended up buying it. But I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I know that I'm not gonna say the sequel, but I know that the same people that made it are making another one. I think it's Project Triangle something.
Yep.
So I may do it. I may go back in and dip into that. Maybe.
I'm just more because it's really hard because obviously I think that or like I think you'd be probably good up the alley of like this more current game like Hades that just came out. I think you'd be up your alley too.
That was another one. I've seen like gameplay of it and stuff, and it was like so critically acclaimed, and I think it's going to PlayStation soon, right?
It just came out this week.
Yeah, so that's one that I may have to pick up. Like I was looking at the gameplay, and I was like, it's not really my style, but everyone likes it, so I'm like, I can try it,
No, yeah, and then I just because it's more, I guess, it's more shocked in that idea, but also I'm more that person like. I believe big games are definitely like the life source of gaming, but I feel indie games are what really keeps it ongoing. Like keeps on its track. Also, more I think you might like that's on. You like runners like Bit Trip?
Mm-hmm.
You should check out. It's very small, very short. You should check out that Aerial Knights Never Yield.
I played the demo and I really did enjoy it. So
you like because I know you like beats.
Yeah.
And, so I got him on the show once and he talked and he it's his buddy who made the beats and so it's like just fresh out like they're from Detroit so obviously he had Detroit music come through and just really cool to see and the first song that's on the track definitely sounds like a Cowboy Bebop song and that's what it hooked me and obviously it's been great. But yeah. And then next up was Rockstar rumor news that apparently they're working on a rumored remasters of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. They're going to be possibly using newer Unreal Engine models and all that stuff, and then a little bit of older stuff. So they're trying to make it like kind of new, kind of old. And then the rumor also includes that because people are talking like it's set in stone.
Yeah.
But there also is another rumor they're trying to do this with Red Dead Redemption 1. You have any chickens in this race for knowing about Grand Theft Auto, those older ones?
No. But I'll say one thing, the Red Dead thing, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't actually know that there were rumored to be working on the Red Dead as well. But the Grand Theft Auto one, Grand Theft Auto is one of those games that I have never personally owned because my parents were always the ones who were like, oh, we're going to give you these games. We're not going to let you play Grand Theft Auto. And it was when I was younger. Yeah. Now I'm older. I can play what I want, for the most part.
I'm trying to figure. I don't even know.
Don't bring up Sonic again.
No. No. I was more trying to figure out in my head. I don't even know what year was like. When did because it was like back to back to back. Like what year was Grand Theft Auto 3?
Google is my best friend right now. 2001. So I was 1 year old.
that explains a lot. You know what I mean? So you got to dodge bullets, and then the only thing. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been so long, even though people can forget about 4, but the idea like that was you didn't even grow up with like multiple Grand Theft Autos. You've grown up with just Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, basically. So I mean, I'm interested in doing it because two reasons. Two reasons. One, because I've always wanted to play Grand Theft Auto, so this is my way of like getting into it. And two, for some reason, everyone makes Grand Theft Auto memes all of a sudden, especially the one with
CJ.
Yes. So it's like I gotta get into it, you know.
Shit! Here we go again.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get it. No, and I feel like I'm just pinpointing like that. San Andreas is definitely a landmark game for gaming, period. So I would be interested in. I like Vice City, but also I think it's just because like I have no connection to the 80s besides being born on the last 80s year. But the idea of just like that 80s tracks and music and like it's a little bit more Scarfacey / campy movies. Yeah. I did enjoy it, but you can't deny San Andreas is probably the better of those three. And I would, for you in particular, I would be very interested to see your thoughts and how you process. Even if you went back and bought like they have like HD collections now. Yeah. And just go back and see how it was written and how the idea of like they thought 90s California was. Yeah. I'd be interested to hear from you.
So yeah, for sure, I really do hope that they are working on this because weirdly enough, the first thing I seen when I had heard this rumor was that it's also going to be coming to Switch.
Oh, really?
That was one thing that I heard. So if they do it, then and it comes to Switch, then I mean, I'm gonna get it for sure because I feel like it's that whole thing of Rockstar now knows, like, yes, we want Grand Theft Auto on the Switch. So then they're going to bring possibly the next Grand Theft Auto on the Switch. Possibly.
Oh, no. You'll be happy. Just be happy you get these three. There's no way. there's no way it can fit. If Grand Theft Auto 5 is like almost 200 gigs, and with SSD, there's no way it'd blow up Switches if Switches looked at it. Okay. But
I'm just gonna have my blown up Switch in my hand.
I can only imagine. but yeah, and then next up for news was this week. Have you had any connection with this abandoned game that's going on with PlayStation 5s and like this whole bad social media controversies with it?
Nope. I don't even have a PS5 yet, so
I'll make it easier on you about that. So, Blue Box Studios is apparently is this company that is making a first-person horror game. Okay. That chose to tweet out, "Hey, our game is related to like it's kind of like this game that starts with S, ends with L," and everybody blew it up saying it's Silent Hill. And then it has weird connections to Hideo Kojima because of these weird like breadcrumb trails of speaking of like just there. Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole has a shorter fucking tunnel than this story, and it's mind boggling that it's still going on. We've had this app of they've had an app for a trailer on the PS5. It has had 3 different delays just for trailers.
Wow.
And this week finally has a trailer, and they gave us 30 seconds of a floor with somebody shadow walking by.
I'll be pissed.
You're not the only one. And then the idea of people are now memeing it, just thinking it's Hideo Kojima, and like they have this weird president or someone director talking under a different, like it's Hideo, who they don't care. They even the last time they had a delay before this trailer actually came out, they had behind it say abandoned, but there was like a pixelated person with one eye patch, so people thought it was Solid Snake.
Yeah, that would be
Kojima. It is definitely it's digging itself a hole that it may not get out of just by bad publicity.
And I mean, all I'm gonna say is we'll see how it ends. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm thinking a person. I've lost interest in it at the moment. They have, but also I'm more of a apologetic person. I'll be like, oh, you did this whole big game of saying it's not, but it's going to be Silent Hill. Okay. Now, if it comes out that it's truly not nothing Silent Hill, but it is how do I word it? If like the reviews come out and say it is a decent game, but the publicity of it fucked it over before but it is good. I'd wait for a sale, but I ain't gonna give them my money right off the get go because of how they treated the start.
Yeah, I feel you. That makes sense.
And then one more quick one was just more Xbox finally put this rumor to rest of the idea that Game Pass was going to come to other consoles. You're a Switch guy. There's always been the big rumor of like possibly the Nintendo Switch might get Game Pass.
Yeah. I heard a little bit about this because I watch the Xbox Drive. So I remember Sean and Ryan talking about it a little bit. But it was, it's one of those things where it's like, why would they? I get that they would be like, oh, it would be more people. But it's like, it's Xbox Game Pass,
They not Sean and Ryan, but there are just I think it goes into that mentality of some Xbox fans, not Sean. They're cool, but they want to win in the sense of the namesake. Oh, Xbox is better, and for that small plane, they don't care. It's not about. These are the same people who don't care about like indies. These are the same people that want to. They don't want to pay for full price games no more. They just want everything on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I'm not, what I mean? That's why I think Phil had to come out and say, yeah, it ain't going to happen. And then like one other thing this is a paraphrase version of this thing. He's like, yeah, long story short, other console makers don't want our thing on their system. Okay. And then, but he said there are plenty of open platforms like mobile and PC that we can jump on. But he did also kind of keep the door cracked. He said, if down the road one of these other console makers want to talk, we'd be open to listen about doing it. So, but yeah, that's just more the quick thing that happened this week. And then you might like this one. I saw today, which I didn't put on our notes. Apparently, there is a rumored that possibly Sly Cooper 5 is being worked on right now.
Hey, sign me up. I'm down.
I didn't even look up studio names or nothing. I just saw a headline that says Sly Cooper 5 might be in works at PlayStation. I'm like,
yes.
Word?
Yes. Shoot, at this point, they're just bringing back trying to bring back like all the like classic PlayStation mascots. Because I mean, shoot, they've already came out with Crash 5 or
Crash 4.
4. Okay, I knew I was wrong. They already came out with Crash 4. I mean, if they are going to do something with Spyro, they could do something with Spyro. They've already, so it would make sense.
We lucked out because Activision played ball and did a Crash and the Spyro trilogy remasters. And but I do see what you mean, because like even like how would I word it? You haven't played it yet, of course, but Ratchet and Clank's PS5 one is excellent, but also I do see like the idea of maybe like, hey, let Ratchet go take a breather in the corner.
Yeah,
they left the story hanging for a thing, but let him have a rest. Let's get like Sly Cooper in here, who did fan wise, Sly Cooper 4 was excellent. People love Sly Cooper 4's there's not Cracking Time. It's basically like he did a time traveling one too with that off. It wasn't Sucker Punch that made Sly Cooper 4, but that company did a great job too.
Yeah.
And I just if it happens, it happens. It'd be a great reveal, but
100%.
We have to get more into it. I knew that you're a platform, so I wanted to say it with you.
Oh yes, 100%. I am down. Yes,
if it happens, that'd be a great little reveal somewhere down the road.
For sure.
But yeah, that's basically it for the show. And we're like we do each week. This week's we're gonna do hot picks to leave out. We always do a hot pick in movies or TV, a hot pick in comics, comic is basically. I try to call off like this week's, like on Wednesday there will be these new #1 issues where you can start off and want to start reading.
Okay.
And then we also do a hot pick as in a music track. So for hot picks this week for TV, it's a TV show. I picked DC Titans season 3. I don't know if you watched DC Titans.
When the trailers were first coming out for Titans, I was really excited for it, but I don't think I had the platform to watch it, so it was one that kind of fell through. But I have always been interested in watching it. Now that I have HBO Max, it is on HBO Max, right?
Yep, so all of them are.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about going back and binge watching it season 2, and then start up with season 3.
My question for you is: what is your views on the Zack Snyder's Justice League?
See, I'm not really that big of a DC guy, funny enough, either. So I haven't even watched either. I haven't watched the first Justice, the other Justice League. I haven't watched that Snyder's Justice League. I haven't really. You don't have
to watch the theatrical. No, I just was more curious because of how you said that. I was more trying to say is like DC Titans, which I'm going to touch base because DC Titans season 3 is only has only 3 episodes out and premiered with 3 episodes.
Okay.
But and I'm trying to be safely not spoil it for you. But is a very darker timeline. There's a lot more baggage in between. Well, because you've seen the trailer of like Robin, Dick Grayson, and Batman, and Bruce Wayne. There's some baggage there, and then how would I word it? The first season, I would say, is you have to push through it compared to season 2. Season 2 at least has an interesting, Deathstrokes in it.
Okay.
So take whatever you want with that idea, but season 3 though is definitely they've understood what works, and what works is trying to be comic booky in the sense of like, did you see the season 3 trailer?
I haven't actually. No.
Well, okay. They obviously the idea of like they have like a person who helps with a crime is a villain. They have obviously they brought in Barbara Gordon, which obviously these are definitely Gotham people without spoiling. And then the idea of, to my knowledge, it sounds like this season is going to be half this storyline and conclusion, and then we're going to go into the other plot that happens in season 2 that was teased.
Okay.
but it definitely it has the foundation from the comic, but it's so flipped from like the things that happen to it don't happen in the comic. Like, oh, you thought you're gonna walk into season 3 because we're gonna do this Batman storyline. We kind of are, but we're gonna do it in the perspective of if Nightwing is the main hero. You know.
Okay. Gotcha.
Without, I didn't want to spoil it more than that.
Yeah.
But yes, these Titan season 3 is the TV's hot pick, and for comics is a couple of number ones. One is from Boom Studios, Eat the Rich, issue 1. Image has Second Chances, issue 1. DC has only one, issue 1. It's Batman Secret Files for Clown Hunter. And then Marvel has Kang the Conqueror's issue 1. So if you wanted to get into King of the Conqueror, since we just got Majors to come out. So there's an issue 1 coming out this week that you can get into a little bit of a new storyline with him. Miles Morales has his annual, like it's a go buy this book and you get a finished story in that same book. Issue 1. Warhammer 40K, which I didn't even know Marvel had the rights to, but they have a called Sisters of Battle, issue 1. And then this week starts the X-Men Trial of Magneto. And how the cover looks like, it looks like Scarlet Witch has died.
Oh.
So it looks, look cool. Dark Horse had Killer Queen, issue 1. Behemoth Comics has Nine Stones, issue 1. And Aftershock has God of Tremors 1. And this one's not issue 1, but Scout Comics does this weird grace period between issue 1s and issue 2s. Redshift 2 comes out this week. I'm only saying it because I had the gentleman on the show, so he's a really nice guy. And then also this week's hot pick for music is PurpleMonkey's. He made the CuzNCiseal Show a brand new theme, and it's going to be the outro of this week's show. So obviously after that it will be the intro for every show and all that fun jazz. But I'm also giving everybody a warning right now. When I edit this, I'm not editing that song. That thing's gonna if it's loud, I wanted it to be loud so you can hear how it's gonna knock. But yeah, that's why you're also on here, because of course you were generous enough to make me a new theme. And more tell you thank you on air, of course. And you did it pretty quick after the convo, but it was more of like, is there any like tricks of the trade or any conversation you could talk about just making beats? Don't have to be about mine, but like.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I can talk about yours. Funny enough, yours sounded completely different at first. Like, I didn't have a real good idea, which is why it took me from the first conversation we had to the second conversation. It took me a minute.
Yeah.
Because I did it maybe like a day or two after because somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody else needed me to, Grouchy Surge. He had an idea for something. I can't talk about it. But he had an idea for something and I was working on that. So after I worked on it, I was like, okay, let me work on this theme or whatever. And I was like kind of messing around. I was like, okay, I don't really like it that much. So I kind of put it away for a second. And then, which I do that a lot. If I have to come up with some stuff off that, like on top of my head, usually it takes me a couple of days or it takes me like a week or two to actually get a really good idea that I really like. So it was just one day where I had the instrument on and I just like kind of clicked those 5 keys and I was like, I kind of like that. So then I just kept it going and I was like, okay, this is the base up. We're going to build off of this. So yeah, like a lot of times for beats, it takes me a minute to really like get into the groove of it, especially if I'm coming up from scratch. Like it's hard, but I choose what I got to do.
Like the idea of like this, you're 21 years old, and we're gonna, of course, I'll put it in the description, but like, go to his YouTube and like just see like how he's like, oh, it makes me think. But you have a good little track of beats there just to hear your background and stuff. I'm like, you'd put free tracks up there and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the idea of you're doing what you gotta do, and you're doing a pretty good job, man.
Appreciate that. I really do. I really do. I try hard, and I have my moments where I'm thinking like, dang, like I'm really not that good at this. But then I have my moments where I'm really like my head is blown up, and I'm like, I'm that, I'm the one. Like this is it.
That's probably the most creative mindset I've ever that's the typical boom. You're either it's a roller coaster. You're like, I'm the man, or like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But no. Hey, thank you very much, man, for doing this theme. And thank you again for being here on tonight's the CuzNCiseal Show.
I got you, Brody. No problem.
Yeah, and then of course, tell everybody where they can find you and all that fun stuff.
All right, so you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/PMENT. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PMEJIB, and I think that's everything. You can find me on Spotify, all streaming platforms at just PME. It'll be a picture of me with like a red and black flannel, like kind of looking down. I look sexy. That's not the point. But yeah, go stream my music. I just came out with a single puzzle last month. Fire track, something you can vibe to. So yeah.
No, and yes, I'll put, of course, all that fun jazz in the descriptions. Again, thank you. And then obviously, of course, everyone can follow me at MikeFowler93. And then until next time, we always say be good to each other, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Bye.